Can a limitation become a strength? Can a setback open the door to a completely new world of possibilities? The inspiring story of Dr. Deepa Malik gives us a powerful answer. She lost the ability to walk, but she never lost the courage to dream. She sat in a wheelchair, yet she rose above every limitation through her determination. This is the inspiring story of Dr. Deepa Malik, India's first woman Paralympic medalist and an inspiration to millions. So let's turn to chapter 5 of your Kaveri English textbook, The World of Limitless Possibilities, and discover the remarkable journey behind this beautiful title. Before we enter the story, let's understand what the Paralympics are. When you hear the word Olympics, you probably think of the world's greatest athletes competing for medals and making their countries proud. But have you heard of the Paralympic Games? The Paralympics are international sporting events for athletes with physical, sensory, or intellectual disabilities. But they are much more than competitions. They give athletes an opportunity to showcase their extraordinary skills, challenge society's stereotypes, and redefine what people believe is possible. And that is exactly what makes the Paralympics so inspiring.
The chapter begins by introducing us to this wonderful world of limitless possibilities. These games are not simply about competition and medals. They celebrate resilience, extraordinary talent, determination, and the human spirit. More importantly, the Paralympics challenge the stereotypes that society may have about disability. They show us that a physical or other limitation does not necessarily limit a person's ability to dream, compete, achieve, and inspire. And that idea forms the heart of our chapter. The chapter then takes us to India's journey in the Paralympics. India made its debut in the Paralympic Games in 1968. And in 1972, India won its first Paralympic medal in swimming. Since then, many Indian Paralympians have brought great honor to our country. And among these inspiring athletes is Dr. Deepa Malik. She is not only an accomplished para-athlete but also an inspiration to countless people. She has been honored with prestigious awards such as the Khel Ratna, Arjuna Award, and Padma Shri. But behind these awards and achievements lies a remarkable story of courage, determination, and perseverance.
And the chapter allows us to discover that story through an interview. The interviewer begins by greeting Dr. Deepa Malik and tells her that it is a privilege to meet such a famous personality in the world of Paralympics. Dr. Deepa Malik responds warmly and says that she is truly honored. Even at this early point in the interview, we can notice her humility. Despite her remarkable achievements and international recognition, she remains warm and modest. The interviewer then asks her how she managed to overcome the odds and become one of the world's most inspirational women para-athletes. Dr. Deepa Malik takes us back to the time when she was just 29 years old. At that age, she was diagnosed with a spinal tumour. She underwent surgery, but unfortunately, she faced another devastating blow. The doctors told her that she would be bound to a wheelchair for the rest of her life because she had become paralysed from the waist down. It was a life-changing moment. But Dr. Deepa Malik says that she had two choices. She could either squander her life in remorse, waste her life regretting what had happened, or transform it into a world of limitless possibilities. And she chose the second. Since she loved sports and had been a swimmer, she decided to switch to para-athletics. This marked the beginning of her Paralympic journey. Her breakthrough came at the 2016 Rio Paralympic Games, where she won the silver medal in shot put. For her, this was more than a medal. It was a personal victory and a step towards changing people's perceptions of disability. The interviewer then highlights her remarkable achievements. She became the first Indian female para-athlete to win an Asian Games medal in athletics and India's first female Paralympic medalist across any sport. He asks what these accomplishments mean to her. Dr. Deepa Malik says that she deeply appreciates these honors. But more importantly, they are a testimony to her belief that physical limitations do not define a person's potential. She strongly believes in the idea of ability beyond disability, looking beyond what a person cannot do and recognizing what they are capable of achieving.
The interviewer then asks about the challenges she faced. Dr. Deepa Malik explains that one of her greatest challenges was societal perception. People often underestimated her abilities because of her disability. But she did not allow their opinions to discourage her. Instead, she treated every challenge as an opportunity to prove her capabilities. She also acknowledges the support of her family, which, together with her own strength, helped her turn obstacles into stepping stones. The interviewer then asks how sports and the Paralympics can challenge societal stereotypes. Dr. Deepa Malik explains that when people see para-athletes displaying strength, skill, and competitive spirit, their preconceived notions begin to disappear. They start looking beyond disability and recognizing ability. For her, the Paralympics gave her a new lease of life and helped her push her boundaries. It made her realize that individuals with disabilities can be just as capable as, and sometimes even more capable than, their able-bodied counterparts. The interviewer then asks about her role in promoting disability rights and inclusivity. Dr. Deepa Malik explains that advocacy is an important part of her mission. She works to strengthen the emotional health of persons with disabilities, empower women through outdoor sports and adventure activities, and support para-sportspersons from economically weaker backgrounds by providing them with equipment. She also conducts disability sports awareness and advocacy sessions in schools and colleges because she believes that youth is the voice of tomorrow. Her goal is simple but powerful: to help create a society where everyone, regardless of ability, is treated with dignity and given a fair chance to succeed. Finally, the interviewer asks what advice she would give to people facing challenges or setbacks. Dr. Deepa Malik says that every setback is an opportunity to prove one's strength. She encourages people to believe in themselves, surround themselves with a strong support system, and allow their journey to inspire others. And then she leaves us with the most powerful thought of the interview. Disability is not a limitation. It's a unique strength waiting to be set free. With these inspiring words, the interview comes to an end. But the message of the chapter stays with us. Dear students, this chapter is much more than the story of a successful athlete. It is a story of courage, determination, and the power of the human spirit. Dr. Deepa Malik did not allow her circumstances to define her future. She transformed a setback into success, an obstacle into an opportunity, and a limitation into limitless possibilities. And that is the true meaning of the world of limitless possibilities. Sometimes what appears to be a limitation can become the beginning of something extraordinary. So whenever life seems difficult, remember the journey of Dr. Deepa Malik. Your circumstances do not define your future. Your determination does. Thank you for learning with me. If you found this explanation helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Learner's Tech. Until we meet in the next lesson, keep learning, keep believing, and keep growing.